to you, when you start losing, everything seems to go wrong because it comes psychologically. Now, that guy should have caught that ball.
Which one?
Either one. The best play of that play was the lineman that held. He kept the quarterback from getting hurt. Now, I've said this before in a telecast, but some offensive line coaches actually teach that if a guy gets a clean shot at your quarterback. It's worth 10 yards to have your quarterback still available.
This is the third.
Second down.
Number 78 is Vince Stroth from Brigham Young, big 266-pound tackle, who was found guilty on that one. That's the third Arizona penalty for 27 yards. That does not, however, tell the story of the most damaging of all penalties, when Arizona had picked off a Michigan pass, carried it to the 23-yard line in the first series of plays, and then they were detected roughing the passer and had to give the ball back, and Michigan scored 2 plays later. Mark Keel couldn't hang on to that one.
Couldn't hang on to that one because he was watching for the defensive back to hit him. Now watch as he's going for the football. Watch his head turn and look to his right to see if that guy's going to hit him. Right there. See his eyes? That's called intimidation. Now that'll happen to you sometimes if you get behind real quick and you don't have much to do. Arizona has one thing going for them. They got good character on that football team, and they got a chance to come back. But they're going to need a big play, Bill.
Well, it's 3rd and 20. And they're trailing 14-0, 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Minucci with plenty of protection, spins it out here too far. It's headed for Jackie Flowers. I'll tell you one thing, Minucci does have a big arm. He throws the ball very, very strong. Sometimes maybe a little too strong. 4th down. Mike Mees has gone in the lineup, formerly from Arizona. Anthony Carter led the Big Ten in punt returns. His value to Michigan was, without question, he was named the most valuable player his senior year. Mike Whitehead will do the long snap here, and it's perfect. Oh, and what a kick. It drives Carter all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Watch out, he's got a hole.
Oh, look at him move. Trapped on the sidelines and out of bounds, and boy, the official really got nailed. That was a 53-yard punt, and the official is out cold. Carter, trying to backtrack, ran right into the official, and he took a terrible shot. Just somersaulted him over.
Carter is most dangerous when he can break to the outside like he used to do at the University of Michigan. Now watch, that's when I said he's got a hold. As he comes to the left, somebody peels back and hits the official.
No, he does. Watch.
Carter?
Yeah, right there. See, I knocked him right down.
There's another angle of it. Looks like number 80 or 40 knocks Carter into the official.
That's right.
He's up.
Well, I'll tell you this, he took a long count. That's Jim Mullendorf, who is the back judge.
He might be the toughest guy on that side of the field. Whew.
Glad to see him get up. You know, those fellas running around down there, all they've got is the zebra shirt,
That's
no
right.
protection.
Plus, they're a lot older.
All right, a good look at Bobby Hebert from Northwest Louisiana State, who's guided these Panthers to a playoff berth this year. And he's backed up by an excellent quarterback from Vanderbilt, Whit Taylor, and another newcomer, Mark Miller. Anthony Carter at the 42-yard line, and he's spilled right there by John Kimmel. But I've heard Lee Corso say many times it takes courage to make that cut across and make that.
Let me tell you, he's 5'11", 162 pounds, and yet he comes across in the middle where all those gorillas are. Watch, he got good concentration, and he gets cracked by Kimmel. Kimmel's 6'4", 240 pounds, and Carter just went right down. Carter is the most exciting football player I coached against in the Big Ten in the 10 years I was there.
Really?
Yes, by far.
Well, Hebert has been 3 for 3. Lacey has 1 pass today. So Michigan has been 4 for 4 in the passing department. There is Cleo Miller in place of Ken Lacey, number 33, at the fullback spot. Cleo comes from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Played with the Cleveland Browns, what, for 8 or 9 years. He's a real veteran.
There's Jim Stanley. He come a long way from Lynch, Kentucky to Texas A&M with Bear Bryant, from Amarillo High School with Bum Phillips to here.
Second down, 8. Fumble, and it's covered by Arizona. Ken Lacey fumbled the ball, and the Arizona number 74, that's Calvin Clark, was the first man to it. I don't know whether he got official recognition for the recovery. Oh, there's the handoff. It never even got to it.
This is what I was talking about Arizona needed. They need some kind of a break to get back in the ball game, because obviously the team in white is not as good as the team in the dark jerseys. But they got to have a break, and they just got one. Now it's very important that they don't do nothing stupid. Take a nice drive and score, make it 14-7, and they're back in the game.
Well, the game plan was, as you know, by Doug Shively, is to keep control of the ball. First down. Nothing there as Harold Blue is met by the defensive forward wall. Alan Hughes, number 98. Kyle Borland, number 52. John Corker, number 57. Ray Bentley. It's a tough defensive front.
Yeah, the reason this play doesn't work, it's a delayed play. You cannot run a delayed play against a bunch of guys who are crazy that are going after you. Because when you do all that delay action, they're coming right after you. I've watched Michigan 4 times this year, and the only football team that almost beat them with inferior personnel was Boston, with screens, draws, and a quick passing game.
Loss of 2 on the play, second down and 12. 3:06 to go in the first quarter. Michigan leading 14-0. Minucci rifles one across. He's got Jackie Flowers, or is it McGee? McGee, number 84. And it's a first down.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. About a 6-yard and break it inside. This is what Boston did, and throw the ball to him before Michigan get to him. Michigan has sacked the quarterback 70 times this year for 898 yards and minus yardage.
And a former Oklahoma State star, Mike Edwards, the rookie, was the one who made the stop right at midfield. Now there's a draw that gets about 2 as Blue makes it just across the midfield stripe.
I'm laughing, but at least it got to the line of scrimmage. That other one didn't even get to the line of scrimmage.
Alan Hughes, a homegrown product from Western Michigan, was the man who made the stop on the play. Chicago now leading Oakland in the first quarter, 10-0 in that game at Soldier Field. And Boston now has overtaken New Jersey, leading 7-3 in the first quarter. So both those teams fighting for one other spot. If Michigan, of course, continues to win here, the Panthers would sew up the Central Division Championship and go on to play Oakland next weekend. Down he goes, and the ball is loose. Alan Hughes brought him down, but the whistle had blown at the 45. John Corker thought he might have had eyes on the end zone.
Now you'll understand why. That's the difference between that pass and the pass that had been thrown. That's a timing pass where he went back deeper. Now watch. He'll go back about 7 yards. He'll fake. You don't have to fake. They just keep coming. They don't care where you are. You notice how deep he is? That gave the defensive line, Hughes in particular, a chance to get to him. You don't have enough time against him, Bill.
Third down and 15. Minucci looking things over. Remember, the Wranglers also had Alan Risher on the sideline, the rookie out of LSU, who started the season, but he's gotten banged up a little bit. And oh, look at this. Talk about getting banged up. Corker just absolutely drew a bead on him and leveled Minucci, and we may see Risher come into the lineup right now because Minucci's hurt. Blindsided, and he really took one.
This was a busted assignment. Somebody was supposed to block him. I don't want to call names, but I'll tell you what, the coaching staff's got better protection principles than that. And when you get hit from that side, what happens to you, you fall on your shoulder. And that's usually what happens to you. Watch the angle here. Watch him fall on his shoulder as he's blindsided. Right there. You see him? They usually fall on their right shoulder. And that's a serious injury because he's a right-handed quarterback.
Well, he's sitting up, as you can see, but he said, listen, I don't want to take too many of those.
That's what you call a lookout block. That's when the offensive...
Drove Carter all the way back. play Mr. Mullendore will remember for some time to come. Fourth down and 20. And another tremendous kick. And they're going to be charged with roughing the kicker. Here comes Carter, but it will be nullified, and he'll be very sorry if he goes all the way. From the line of scrimmage, 48 yards on that one. But the marker down indicates that somebody was a little over anxious. I thought it was number 45 of the Michigan team. We'll see who it was.
This replay will show one of the most dangerous positions to be in football, which is the punter with his leg up in the air right here. Number 45 hits him right there. Now you notice the difference between that and the time you'll see a guy hit a guy when somebody knocks him into him. The rule is this: if your defensive man is knocked into him by an offensive man, it is not roughing the kicker.
Running into the kicker on number 45, first down.
Number 45 is Tom Moriarty out of Bowling Green. And obviously Jim Stanley doesn't like that because it denies them the ball. 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. The ball is on the 45-yard line, and it's a first down for the Wranglers, who are trailing by the score of 14-0. A good look at Doug Shively, who's had some problems during the later part of the season. The team has lost 9 games in a row. Minucci's back in the lineup. Good fake by Minucci, and down the center he goes. Ricochets off one man. Ooh, that was dangerous. Andy Canavino almost had his hands on the ball. There's Alan Risher right there on the headset.
Canavino, number 62, is a former All-American in Michigan. He will play the run and drop back, and he just plays zone. Zone means he just watches the quarterback's eyes, and great deflection. Now, this is the tip drill. The defensive coaches work on it all the time. 62 would tip it, and Arnaud with 25 would intercept it.
So it brings up a second down with 36 seconds to go in the first quarter. We apologize for the squeals in our audio that you're occasionally hearing at home. We hear them here too. We can't figure out where they're coming from. I know it isn't Lee, and it's not me. It isn't Steve. Way over the head of Jackie Flowers. Well, in case you joined us late, Birmingham defeated Tampa Bay last night. Chicago is leading Oakland. Boston is leading New Jersey. Michigan is leading here. And the playoff picture is simply this, that if Michigan wins, Michigan will play Oakland next Sunday here in the Silverdome in one of the playoff games. Then it will be determined by what those other two teams do today, whom Philadelphia will play. Now, if Boston should win and Chicago lose, it would scramble that playoff picture somewhat. We'll explain that. Minucci over the center, and he's got Flowers. First down on the 42-yard line, and Clarence Chapman, even though he was right there, couldn't do a darn thing about it.
And let me tell you something. Jackie Flowers has had a problem catching the ball across the middle. That's the rap on it. But that play right there showed me that man's got a lot of courage. He's 6'1", 191 from my old school, Florida State.
So it stops the clock with just a second to go here. And now they shoot the gun. We're at the end of the first quarter. Michigan leads.
A true value.
Well, you're looking at the ceiling of the famous Silver Dome here in Pontiac, the scene of Super Bowl 16 2 years ago when the 49ers defeated Cincinnati. The scene today of the Michigan Panthers, who are all over the ball carrier. Number 58, Will Coakley from Kansas State, got to Harold Blue before Harold could take 2 steps.
Coakley is an outside linebacker, 6'1", 225, and he blitzes. In other words, he's coming there behind a pulling guard. Number 63, Keywell, pulls, and when he does that, he leaves a little hole in the line of scrimmage, and that's why Coakley got in there free. Nice guess. Either that or they're reading the lips of the quarterback.
So it makes it a 2.5 to 3 yard loss, and it's second down and about 13. The Wranglers have to get something going here at the beginning of the second quarter. They're trailing by 14 points, hurt by penalties. There's one. Mark Keel from Arizona still on his feet. Missed a couple of times. And now the ball goes over to Michigan. Well, that sometimes happens. Fighting to keep balance and then losing concentration, and the ball flies out. That's John Arnaud from Iowa State, number 25.
You never fault a football player for making an aggressive mistake. He catches the ball. Now watch how many guys. One, he hits about 6 guys. And when you run past Hughes and those guys, those are men. The coach will never, ever criticize this guy for fighting for that extra yardage. And they strip the ball from him, and Arnaud jumps on it. But I tell you what, that was a nice play by a rookie from Arizona.
So Michigan's ball on the Michigan 34-yard line in this opening moment of the second quarter. Sweep, Johnny Williams from Wisconsin. Boy, Michigan remembers that play well. You remember when Michigan was #1 in the country, and they went to Madison 2 years ago and got knocked off, and John Williams was one of the guys that did it. On just plays like that.
Watch the left guard pull. I tell you what, this is a picture-perfect number 61. Tyrone McGriff gets a great block outside there, and from then on it's Williams. And as Bill said, in his senior year, Williams at Wisconsin beat Ohio State and Michigan with long plays. He gives them a little bit of that.
I like that sound effect.
Oh,
It's descriptive.
it's an old neighborhood trick.
First down. What do they do here? Right over the middle they go. Don Eccles. And Hebert was hurt. Hebert is wearing a flak jacket on the left side. He's got some cracked ribs there and a slight shoulder separation on his left shoulder. Doesn't hamper his throwing any, and it looked like he winced a couple of times.
He has really improved since the first time he played Arizona. The first Arizona game.
Here comes Whit Taylor in the lineup for him.
Good move by Coach Stanley. In that first game in the second quarter, about this time, he got a head injury and went out of the ball game, and Whit Taylor only hit 5 for 8 for 198 yards.
And a touchdown.
Whew.
Whit Taylor, the former Vanderbilt star. You know, he was second to Herschel Walker as the player of the year in the Southeastern Conference. That says something for a Vanderbilt player, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Doesn't often get the recognition that the Alabamas and the Tennessees and the LSUs and the Georgias get.
He was the #1 passer in the history of Vanderbilt and the first team All-SEC quarterback. That young man right there.
And Hebert goes back in. First down on the 28-yard line. Michigan leading 14-0 here in the second quarter. 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Williams on another sweep, but this time no soak. Roy Epps from Clemson comes in there and dumps it. Number 43.
That is the strong safety on an inside blitz, and that's interesting because when the right guard Thornbrook pulled, remember that little hole that Michigan went behind? Thornbrook pulled, and then come Roy Epps from Clemson, 6 foot 195, and he caught him in the backfield.
Another score from Boston, and the Breakers have gone ahead of New Jersey by 11. Look at Lacey. Oh, he just keeps those knees high and click right up against his chin as he runs to the 25-yard line.
Again, it's that pulling guard and trapping situation. They like to pull. This time they pulled the left tackle, Chris Godfrey from Michigan. It's the same kind of theory, though. Let the lineman come across and trap him. Lacey is a powerful runner. He leads the league with men over 1,000 yards with yards per rush, 5.
Well, he has 68 yards to his credit today, and credit him also with a brilliant touchdown pass. First score that Michigan made. Hebert way over the head of his intended receiver. 4th down, and Bojovic will come in the lineup. Oh, he's a bubbly little guy. He wanted to talk all about Yugoslavia. You know, he said, listen, you're going there, aren't you? I said, yes, we're going there for the Olympics. Oh, he said, you will love it. I said, well, you know, it's not the first time we've ever been to Yugoslavia. We love your country.
I could not believe he was sitting with those cheerleaders before the game. I don't think I could coach anymore.
He's 7 out of 12 from the range that he is now, which is 42 yards. Oh, he's got plenty of foot on this one. He's got it. Novo Bojovic puts it through for the 17th point of Michigan. So we have 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half here from the Silver Dome, and the Panthers take another step toward the championship.
Field in Boston, the Breakers and New Jersey Generals. Second quarter action. Richard Crump closing in on 1,000 yards. Scampers to pay dirt, capping an 81-yard drive on 9 plays as the Boston Breakers take a 14-3 lead over the New Jersey Generals. It's muggy here. Now back to Pontiac and Bill Fleming.
And a further note on the Boston Breakers. Should Chicago lose today and Boston wins, that would mean that Michigan would play Philadelphia, because they would not have Boston and Philadelphia in the same division playing each other in the first playoff game. Here's Wally Henry. So we'll keep you up to date on that game that's going on at Nickerson Field with Mike Berry. And the Wranglers will take over the ball, trailing by 17 points. Michigan has dominated things offensively, Lee.
Yes, and with the balance, they've got 160 yards rushing and passing, and they've got about 85 to 85, or 85 to 75, and they got good balance, and that's what makes them a great football team. As I said at the beginning of the show, that makes them a champion.
First down for Arizona as Minucci, although shaken up earlier, throws a beauty right on the sidelines, and it is missed by Mark Keel.
Now you'll see that coach right there is Ken Stevenson, a former Kansas line coach, and he's talking to the offensive line, and they've got a board down there, and he's probably going over some of the stunts that the other team has done. Ken Stevenson is a fine young coach.
Let's see if we can hear him.
See, he's talking about that blitz where they had him and give him a problem. That's that little guy he circled there.
I'll tell you, it's been tough yardage up the middle against Michigan. Orland is always in there.
Well, when you got a guy like Dave Tipton, 6'2", 260 in there, he played 4 years for the New England team and for Hamilton. He's a tough guy in that middle, and he kind of keeps everything going. Then they bring in a guy named Ira Albright. I think he's in there now. 6 feet, 260 pounds. Would you say he's short and stocky?
I like the nickname of Loia.
Oh, I'll tell that story in a second.
Yeah, you got to tell that story. That player.
That's the greatest. Don't leave, folks. That's the greatest story you ever heard.
3rd down and 7. The Wranglers with a third. Ball is caught by Blue, and he's going to be very close to the first down. He tried to stretch it out, and Ray Bentley was hanging on to him, number 50.
You'll notice they'll send everybody down the field, and then Blue, number 20, will sneak around. You'll notice he's in the bottom of your picture. All of a sudden, he'll pop up like he's in an open field. Now, when you catch the ball, Blue, head up north and south, not east and west. You see that? That one step, and boom, Cannavino knocked him down.
Yeah, and it cost him that precious foot. All he needed was one more foot for the first down. He didn't get it. Mies